Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa. Today I want to go over our third grade literature. So I found that Mazdas, which is what we're going to be using this coming school year, doesn't seem to have a lot of reviews on YouTube for some reason. And it is going to be what we're going to be using for English, for language arts, going into the new school year. I'm gonna get into that. Before we go any farther, if you want to hit the like button and the subscribe button, we'll be going through all of our third grade, our pre-K, and our preschool this coming school year. I'm also gonna be having a video coming out soon about how to homeschool in Wisconsin. I know that's not something that will necessarily work for everybody, but I feel like that's something that I didn't really find a lot on YouTube when I was first searching, so I'm hoping to give somebody what they need there too. So I will be honest, I was super excited about getting this, and then I opened it. And I had to wait to open it because it was back ordered at first when we ordered it. And for some reason, anything with lots of books overwhelms me. So this is the teacher edition for the Daisy. This is the teacher edition for the Sunflower. This is the student workbook. This side is the Sunflower and everything, it's Sunflower, and everything in here is the Sunflower. But then towards the back, it's all upside down because the back is the Daisy for the student guide. So the student workbook, and those are all in here as well. Now, then you also have the Daisy literature book, and this is going to be like your version of the textbook. So this is the textbook, the teacher guide, and the student workbooks. And then you have the Sunflower textbook as well. And they are labeled here on which one is first. So Sunflower is first and Daisy is second. I printed a new schedule for this upcoming school year, and I'm trying it out over the summer to see how I like it. I have all three of my children on one schedule now. So as you can see here, we will have Mazdas here, and I currently put it in as 1 week, but I don't think it's gonna take all 5 days. I think we'll just need 4. But my oldest will be in this brighter pink, my littlest is in this paler pink, and my son is in this blue. So Timberdoodle, they say in the handbook, which I'm looking at now, that they love how beautiful Mazdas is, which I will admit, it is very beautiful. They also, that they're already covering writing in the Timberdoodle kits, so they feel that you can either skip the writing activities or allow for oral answers versus doing the writing. So let's go ahead and flip through this here. This is going to be Unit 1. I found that the textbook itself is actually very pretty. It has lessons in literature, treasures of the Andes, and they have the stories in here. They are just beautiful. And on Thursday, I'll have just a straight down flip through of this for you guys. So if you wanted to subscribe or like so you don't miss that, you can go ahead. Otherwise, you can just pop back on Thursday when you want to look at it. And I will just flip through all these as straight down and none of my rambling for you. But that one is Sunflower. And then, of course, we have Daisy, which is the second book. And then the student workbook here was Daisy and Sunflower together. Goes over learning about plots, characters, settings, themes, who, what, when, where, why, what to do with woulda, coulda, shouldas, figurative language. They're all like this. I do think they do a good job about keeping the student activity very beautiful as well. There's a lot of words, obviously, a lot of text, but they do throw it in with the colorful borders and the occasional colorful pictures. Now the teacher guide is not pretty, not even a little. You open it and my brain went, ah! It is all in black and white. It has everything that you need to know, scope and sequences, the teacher's edition, workbook, guide, answers, everything is in these teacher books, the manuals. That's why they're so large. So here is that first one I was looking at you. It goes through all of this. On the outside is the teacher stuff. And here in the middle is the exact copy of the textbook that your student will be looking at. So you have basically your workbook plus your child's workbook or textbook inside here. And it is written more towards a teacher versus a parent, which doesn't bother me at all, but if that's something you need to know. And then in the very back is the table of contents where you will find the answers to the workbook guides. So they are back there as well. That was really hard to see, sorry. I have to say, I do really like that the student textbooks are hardback books. They are hardcover. They are very well made. It has actually come in handy already because when I set these on the table when I first unboxed them, I luckily had them set like this with the other notebooks on top of them, and my cat had knocked over a glass of water and spilled all, like it ran down the table to the books, and it managed to hit the spine of the book and run under the book. So nothing was damaged. I just wiped it up and it was fine. So that is really nice. I like that they're hardcover. It means that they're gonna last longer and I'm not gonna have to worry about them as much. So they are broken up into units. So Sunflower and Daisy both have 3 units in them each. And each unit is also broken down into weeks as well. So there is additional units inside the units. And there is a total of 30 weeks between the 2 books, so a full year, about 15 weeks per book. I also noticed that in your Timberdoodle handbook, they explain Mazdas very well, but then they also have a section in here for people like me who need to know exactly what to do when. So this section here is Mosdos Opal weekly assignments. So right here, they say book 1, unit 1, all about the story. Week 1, literature, lessons in literature, what is a story, page 2. The Jar of Tasai, page 4. The Secret, page 16, and activity pages and assignments. And that is what you would complete. That would mean that we would go in here to our student book. This is what my daughter would have. We would go to unit 1, and this is lessons in literature. So Treasures of the Andes. This is what we would read. And then this would be the Jar of Tasai. This is the main story for the day, for the week. She would read this. Well, I would probably help her read it. The About the Author section here. And then The Secret is a little story at the end here as well. So this is where we would stop, right here, The Secret. Then it said the activity pages. So we would go into our activity pages. And the activity pages are wrote for the story. It says Unit 1, the Jar of Tasai, down here in little writing, but up here in the top one, it says the Jar of Tasai Vocabulary, Activity 1, the Jar of Tasai Vocabulary, Activity 2. More about the story, language arts activity, narrative elements. So the workbook only goes over the Jar of Tasai. It does not go over the secret or anything else that was in this first unit. And then of course there is this teacher guide for the same thing. My daughter would have this book to follow along in, while I would be reading from this book that I just threw across the table. This book. So this would have all the instructions for me on the outside, since I am not a language arts teacher and I do not know what I should do or say. And I like that it just does and tells me what to do and say. And I would follow this along for the week. It is broke out, so I should be able to take care of all of it within 4 days of the school week. And then since it is only 30 weeks long, that leaves us with 6 weeks of buffer. Or if you wanted to do it differently, you could take a break after each unit. So after you finish all unit 1, which is about 5 weeks, you would take a break and then do unit 2 and then do another 5, which would be another about 5 weeks, and then take a break. Or like you could do what I'm doing, where you could just finish early if you need to, or use it as a buffer. But that is how we plan on using Mazdas. So if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below. I will for sure do a day in the life with us using Mazdas more in the school year, so probably September or October. And like I said, if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you next time.